Hey there, it's Paul from the growth team at CommandBar. I'm going to walk you through the highlights of a blog post that we've written on the 2 tricks that you need to unlock high quality user experience analytics and to make sure it's not annoying. I think that's one of the really important objectives we have here at CommandBar, and the digital adoption space gets a bad rap. You know, some of those pop-ups can be mighty frustrating to see and really annoy your users. What we do here at CommandBar and the approach we take is to be non-annoying. And as you'll find in this article, we do a lot of really interesting things to create this segmentation and targeting that is so nuanced and particular that when we are able to serve these experiences that are more like push strategies, like nudges and pop-ups, we are able to deliver them at a time that the user really enjoys and is really useful. Whereas we also have pull strategies, right? So the user is able to use their intent-based search, jump into Copilot or our Spotlight bar to be able to ask what they need help for. Anyway, long story short, let's get into the blog post. So what we're looking at here is this annoyance of like this pop-up, give us feedback or else we'll delete your account. You know, we try and make a little bit of a joke here, but it's really important that a lot of companies in the digital adoption space approach their kind of tooling like this, making it really, really abrasive. But instead, we want to avoid that at all costs. If we do that, of course, you're going to get lower response rates, selection bias. You know, people are going to, the survey people who do the surveys are going to jump in, and the people who aren't. And you kind of get some staggered results there. So what we'll cover today is here, the experience analytics metrics. Passivity pit is a really cool concept that we talk about in this one. Going beyond simple surveys, data collection for qualitative needs, which is really interesting. And the UX analytics questions, I'll tell you about those at the FAQ section at the bottom. Okay, this graphic, love it. So when we get in here, you know, we've got the quantitative, where it's a lot of data. We'll unpack this in a second. And you've got qualitative. In the article, we dive deep into here, into what these metrics are and where they are important. See, qualitative, you've got like NPS scores, recorded interviews, you know, customer scores as well. In the quantitative, we've got things like user activation rate, session duration, bounce rate, all those kind of good things. Now, in the article, you'll also want to spend some time on this idea. It's the passivity bit that I mentioned before. Like, hey, look, it's me. So in the passivity pit, you want to avoid just relying on these passive metrics and data. And again, you know, if you want to lean into creating great experiences in the digital adoption space and making sure your users are using the app, you have to be so particular with the data that you're collecting, both for, again, the experiences and knowing when to show those experiences, and then also for who's using your app and how to get the most out of it. So passive prompting, and what you want to avoid is something like this. So you'll see here, you know, usually like a user's in the middle of doing something, you know, and then trying to get on with their day. And then you throw this pop-up right in their face that says, hey, we want your feedback. It's super vague, super general, doesn't seem helpful at all. It's not really helping the user. I mean, who is going to do that? And that's the whole point, right? The people who are doing that is going to give you kind of biased results. You're going to give you pretty crummy feedback because it's just not in congruence with what they're doing. So avoid that at all costs. Yes, Tom gets some help. So what do you do to go beyond just those simple surveys? Well, in CommandBar, we have a ton of targeting that you can do. So just to dive in a little bit here, I'll try and move my face out of the road. So we, you know, who, where, and when is like the top level of who we're targeting. And you can get really, really granular with all of these down to specific pages. And also here, what I love, one of our favorite features in CommandBar is when. So you can look at, is the user confused? And how do you tell if the user is confused? Great question. We have this feature. Actually, I think it's in this article. I'll show you in a little bit. It's rage clicking. And we can tell when a user is clicking around your app, just looking for how to get around and get the right thing. And we can surface a little nudge or a tooltip, or maybe open Copilot to set up some actions and say, hey, you look like you need a little bit of help here. Like, let me give you some backup. So that's a really fun experience there. And again, it's how we make sure CommandBar is non-annoying. yeah, here's the rage click. I knew it was coming up. So yeah, what you were looking for, and again, what you'll get out of this blog post is some more insights here on Copilot. It's going to tell you like what the user was looking for, what was served to them, how they engage with it, how do they want to further interact with the content. Oh yeah, here's the rage click option that I mentioned before. We got so many ways to do this. All right, so that was a quick overview of the article. There is a bunch of FAQ questions down here as well. Long story short, go read it. It's a really, really insightful article, giving you some deeper kind of tricks and hacks on how to secure great digital adoption data and use analytics and kind of these, again, data points to be able to influence where you show your your nudges and your tool tips and when. And again, it's going to help users and give them a really great experience. All right, till next time.